Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to an outside broadcast from Cape Town International Airport, where we anticipate the arrival of Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool. And with me now, Mr. Mani from Al Azhar High, to chat to us a little bit. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Jazakallah so much for coming through to the airport. What does this mean to you and the community anticipating Mr. Ambassador Rasool's arrival?
Yeah, I think it's very important that we are here to show what has happened is unacceptable. The manner in which he was treated is unacceptable. The way South Africa has been treated is unacceptable. The way the third world countries and African countries are being spoken about and treated is unacceptable. Somebody needs to say it. If he can't say it, we are saying it. He was there for all of us. He was there, it's about human rights and respecting human rights. It's about the case. The fact that South Africa took the Israel to ICJ, they can't accept it, they will never accept it. Those parties who now want to put someone there, they have one agenda, and it is an anti-transformation agenda, the expropriation land. They don't see that land should be, redistributed in a legal way, but we've been waiting so long. And so it's more than just a ambassadorial position. It's about the future of our country. It's about sovereignty. They want to decide what's happening in this country. They're talking about this, in Sandton, the avenue that's Leila Khalid. They want to decide what the name of our streets will be, where they're going to stop. The other thing is also, all those racists are lining up to their president. We have a president, democratically elected. They're lining up to Trump's office. And they are going there to go and lobby so that they can make the decisions about us. Ebrahim, you've been brave. We stand by you. We want to show you you are our leader, and we will never give up on you. So be strong, and we welcome you back to play a leadership role.
Jazakallah so much. Assalamu alaikum. And there we go, Principal of Al Azhar High School, sharing his thoughts right here at Cape Town International Airport. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Cape Town International Airport, where we wait for the arrival of Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool. And we're interviewing a few people that have come out to show their support. From the ANC, Mr. Mauser. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Lovely to see you here. It's our political party, the ANC, has come out in support for Ebrahim Rasool. What are your thoughts about him arriving back into South Africa?
Now, I think we are here today to show our solidarity for justice. We want to welcome Ebrahim. He's our hero. And we are not worried if he has been declared persona non grata. For us, he's our leader. We stand by our leaders. And I know there's been a call by the president, we must tone it down. But for us as Muslims, the Battle of Badr took place on the 7th of Ramadan, and that was for justice. And so today we are here for justice, and so we are here to support Ebrahim Rasool.
Do you think the US had any, political agenda when they actually disbarred him from the US during the month of Ramadan?
Yeah, I think absolutely. That's without a shadow of doubt. Okay, and my personal view is the end game is very clear. They want South Africa to withdraw the ICJ case, and we as the people of South Africa will never allow government to do that. So we will be fighting this to the bitter end.
We have so many economic ties between the US as well. Most of our businessmen do business in the US. What does this mean for them?
For our liberation, we were the biggest sufferers when sanctions was imposed on us, and therefore we are not scared of their sanctions either.
Jazakallah so much for your support, and all the best for Ramadan, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Cape Town International Airport. We're anticipating the arrival of Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool. With me from AMA, Imran Chinara. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Of course, you can see the atmosphere here to welcome Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool. I mean, South Africans one thing we're known for from our background is standing for justice and standing for what is right, whether it affects us or other people anywhere in the world. And that's what Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool stood for. He's a man of integrity, a man of honor, and we welcome him back to South Africa, to his home, of course, with honor, with respect, with dignity. We respect you, Ambassador Ebrahim. What you stand for goodness, you stand for justice, you stand for honor. May you always be blessed.
Jazakallah so much. Assalamu alaikum. There we go. From AMA, Imran Janara, camera. Get the story first. Camera. the story first.
Stand up. Order, comrade, order. To get really.
Allow me to approve.
Melina,
Sorry, bro. How do I find myself?
guys, just sit down. Sit down.
Come on, can you please some time to speak to us? But please, that can only happen if we allow, please guys from the media, please. But you can't.
Let me speak
No,
to
but
you.
no, you cannot.
Just ask everybody to step back.
No, but
The police are
you
hostile.
you are against you. We are standing with you.
Yeah, but
Please come back with you. I will ask you.
Guys, can you Comrades, can we just move back a little bit at the back? Comrades, can we move back? Because we are suffocating the leader whom we want to address us. They chased him away, we are welcoming him. We can't suffocate him. Comrades, can we please, and my brothers and sisters from the meeting, can you just run a centimeter or two back, please? They're cooperating, they're doing it. And their leader, they listen to what I say. So please, can we do the same, all of us? Just a space, guys, because remember, this activity is happening not in a terrain of our own choosing. It's chosen by someone else. But thank you very much. Okay. Comrades, can we just move a little bit? Just a little bit. Amanda! Long live the ANC, long live!
Long live!
Long live the SICP, long live!
Long live!
Viva Cosatu, viva!
Viva!
Viva Sanko, viva!
Viva!
Thank you very much, comrades. We'll come to that, comrades. But let's do this quickly. And thank you very much to all of you, comrades, from wherever you come from all organizations. This is not an ideal venue for us to have meeting for long speeches, because we don't want to inconvenience you all. But because we are forced, number one, as the ANC and our allies, number two, as South Africans, to come and compress ourselves here in welcoming this sign of the soil. We are saying, Comrade Ebrahim, We are not diplomats. We will not even attempt to speak in diplomatic terms. We only want to speak as South Africans and as the African National Congress and say, welcome home, son of the soil. Long live Ebrahim Rasool, long live! Long live Ebrahim Rasool, long live! Long live! But comrades, we want to guarantee you this. Whatever we're not saying in the glare of cameras, we are saying in our hearts, Manta!
And then we give to COSATU and then the party. Just 2 minutes each. 1 minute.
Comrades, today we are here as COSATU to welcome Ebrahim Rasool back to Cape Town, back to this country. He is one of us and he will remain one of us. That's why we are here today to say, Ebrahim, welcome home. You are not alone. We are with you in this fight, and as COSATU will not keep quiet. We are unhappy with what happened with the expulsion, but we are saying today, COSATU is 150% behind you. Amanda!
And then now to the Communist Party and then Comrade Ebrahim to greet you.
Amanda!
Kawethu! Kawethu! Phansi nge-imperialism phansi! Phansi nge-imperialism phansi! Phansi nge-right-wing populist phansi! Phambili nge-solidarity phambili! Long live Rasool, long live! Long live ANC, long live! Long live COSATU, long live! Long live SSCP, long live! Thank you very much, comrades. Without wasting time, thanks, Comrade Rasool, for representing this country well in the United States. Thank you very much, Comrade Rasool, for reasserting our national sovereignty. Thank you very much, Comrade Rasool, for refusing to submit to the dictates of the right-wing populist Western imperialists. As the SACP, we reject the expulsion of Rasool. We must not be told by imperialists as to who must represent us anywhere in the world. In 2023, a U.S. ambassador in South Africa made damning allegation accusing us of supplying Russia with weapons. What did we do with that ambassador? Today, they want us to discard Rasool. Rasool, you are not going to be discarded. We are here to defend you because you defended our revolution. You articulated our position in the U.S., grounded in the theory of our revolution. Well done. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes.
Amandla! Good morning. Molweni. Assalamu alaikum. Goeiemorgen. Rashida and I have just traveled about 32 hours from the United States via Doha to Cape Town. It was not our choice to come home, but we come home with no regrets. I want to say that we would have liked to come back with a welcome like this if we could report to you that we had turned away the lies of a white genocide in South Africa, but we did not succeed in America with that. We would have preferred to come here to say that we have won for you a goer, but we could not win it by withdrawing our case from the International Court of Justice against Israel, because as we stand here, the bombing has continued and the shooting has continued, and if South Africa was not in the ICJ, Israel would not be exposed and the Palestinians would have no hope. Yes. We would have preferred to come here and say that we have won for you trade deals, and that we have been able to secure for us trade deals. But we could not do so by allowing the US to choose who must be our friends and who must be our enemies. So we don't come here to say that we are anti-American or that we have no need for America or that we don't have ties with America. We come here even after being declared persona non grata. We still come here and say we must rebuild and we must reset the relationship with America, because our relationship with America over 50 years has not always been with the White House. It has sometimes been with Congress, and it has always been with the people of the United States of America. When the White House and Congress declared us as terrorists, it was the dock workers in San Francisco that refused to touch South African goods. When Congress did not want to have sanctions, it was the American people who did not eat our fruit and did not touch our goods. And so we have this relationship that we must reset and we must rebuild. And we must hope that President Cyril Ramaphosa will be able to pick up where we left off. But we cannot have a simplistic idea that while we say there must be an ambassador, that you must put a white ambassador for a white president in the United States. And so many people have said, what is diplomacy? We tried the conventional diplomacy and tried to avoid discussions about a genocide. We tried the conventional diplomacy and said that we must pretend that there is no merit in the idea, or that there's merit in the idea of land confiscations. We could not ignore that. And so we had to go to what is the diplomacy of Ubuntu, the diplomacy of mutual interdependence. Try to engage. We have been met with executive orders that cut our aid, cut PEPFAR, and now we sit with the idea that millions could be reinfected with HIV and AIDS. The research for the vaccine may not be one that could be completed. Those are the dangerous things that are happening, and why we must mend our relationship or sit out the next 4 years. This is what we have been trying to do, and we must wish that President Cyril Ramaphosa must be able to find someone who can mend that relationship without sacrificing our values. That we can't be in a situation where the Palestinians are lost in this world without someone that they can depend on, like they have depended on South Africa. We were in the airport in Doha, Rashida and I, and someone came up to us, saw the badge I was wearing, knew immediately that I was the ambassador who was declared a persona non grata. And she said, "Thank you very much." And I said, "I'm not sure about how we are going home." And she said, "There's only one way to go home, and that is with dignity. Because if you don't stand up, who will stand up?" And she was Lebanese. She said, "A bully never needs a good reason to act against you. A bully will even do it because your hair is too short." And so I want to say that South Africa is not a military superpower. South Africa is not an economic superpower. But South Africa has the ability again to become a moral superpower, to stand up against chauvinism, to stand up against populism, and to say that what our people died for in Sharpeville on the 21st of March, that's what we stand for. Foremost amongst that is justice. Foremost amongst that is inclusion. Foremost amongst that is truth. We can modulate our truth. We can have a megaphone that is loud, or we can have a megaphone that is soft, but we will never stop speaking the truth. And so we are not here to call on you to throw away our interests with the United States, because our workers depend on AGOA and our workers depend on those investments. But we will do so with full dignity, with our sovereignty intact, and with our pride in what people have died for, from one massacre to another in this country. We cannot sacrifice that. We cannot sacrifice the Palestinians. We will not give up on BRICS. We will not give up on our relationship with China. But we will also not give up with our relationship with the United States. We must fight for it, but we must keep our dignity. Comrades, thank you very much for welcoming us like this. You know, a declaration of persona non grata is meant to humiliate you. But when you return to a crowd like this and with warmth and a sense of Ubuntu like this, then I will wear my persona non grata as a badge of dignity, a badge of our values, and a badge that we have done the right thing. Thank you very much. Amandla. Amandla.
Where's your transport?
It's fine. We've got our people. What is the true reflection of what is happening in the United States? The first thing is that we have started to write that report last week. We will finalize it and we will be ready for the President with that report. On the second question, it is too soon. Sometimes you must get some distance between a moment designed to humiliate you and the anger that could come from it, and then expressing yourself. Give me a week or two of a vow of silence on that until I can finally make a distance between my former role in Washington and my new role as a private citizen.
Mr. Rasool, Junior Kumalo from News of Africa. We were told that you were trying to basically get an audience for South Africa with the US administration under Mr. Trump, but it seemed like there were challenges. Can you speak to us about that? Because we saw some organizations like the AfriForum, the Solidarity, going there and easily getting access to that administration.
The question is about whether we sought audiences with the administration and whether we did not get that, whereas AfriForum and others got it. I want to say that we were in Washington when not many positions were filled. There is no section for Africa in State Department, and they're only beginning to put it in place in the White House. But part of the design of the PNG, or the persona non grata, was to make sure that the access we got would not be used because there is a different agenda that wants to prioritize white suffering over black needs in South Africa.
Thank you very much for your time, Ambassador Usikamanda from ENCA. In hindsight, you stand by your remarks, but also number two, diplomacy clearly has failed, or the Trump administration doesn't want to work with South Africa. Do you think genuinely there is hope to revive these relations that are at an all-time? Number three, will you be playing your role in political affairs in the Western Cape now?
The first question was?
The first question was, do you stand by your remarks?
Do I stand by my remarks? My remarks was on the Mistra Mapungubwe Forum, speaking to South African intelligentsia, intellectuals, political leaders and others, to alert them to a changed condition in the United States, that the old way of doing business with the US was not going to work, and that unless we change our way of speaking to the US and recognizing what is the US, it is not the US of Obama, it is not the US of Clinton, it is a different US, and therefore our language must change, not only to transactionality, but also a language that can penetrate a group that has clearly identified a fringe white community in South Africa as their constituency, surrounded by a white diaspora in the White House. That is what we are up against. And so there's nothing that I will say there that I would not say elsewhere. And so I would stand by my analysis, because we were analyzing a political phenomenon, not a personality, not a nation, and not even a government. And so I stand by that. The second thing is, has diplomacy failed? In a very strange way. The fact that what I said caught the attention of the President and the Secretary of State and moved them enough to declare me persona non grata says that the message went to the highest office in the United States of America, that they were stung by our characterization and they were not happy with it. And so the diplomacy of Ubuntu has certainly worked, because we bore witness to the values of our society. And the third question was, will I play a role? Again, it is too early to make decisions of that nature. You must first recover from your previous job before you look for another job. We will think about it, we will pray on it, and we will consult on it, and then we will decide what to do next. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. We're still chatting to people that have come out to support former Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool. Good morning, my brother. What's your name?
Good morning. Salam alaikum. My name is Mvusim Dala, the ANC Regional Secretary of the Dala Oman in Cape Town.
Thank you so much for taking the time to come and chat to us as well. What is your opinion of what has happened to our former ambassador and his arrival back in South Africa?
Our view, our belief as an ANC is that standard diplomatic should be exercised to summon Comrade Ebrahim Rasool before expelling him, to ask him to clarify his utterances, not just without even giving him a hearing. It was very unfair. That's our view.
You wear the Palestinian flag and memorabilia proud. What is your opinion about what the Americans are currently doing and feeling about Palestine?
We know the view of the Americans. They've been supporting Israel with arms to continue with that genocide of Palestine. As ANC and the South African government have taken a correct position to take that matter to ICJ, and then we must continue with that. You're not going to bow when it comes to our foreign policy based on values of solidarity, based on values of self-determination, and we are with the people of Palestine. Their freedom is our freedom.
Thank you so much. All the very best.
Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. We're still here at Cape Town International Airport, where former Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool has addressed the crowds, and we're chatting to a couple of supporters that have come out to show their support for the arrival of the former ambassador. And I'm speaking to, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Dr. Samah Al-Barai.
Dr. Samah, we know each other. Tell us about what is the reason that you've come to support the arrival of former Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool?
Well, we've come here as healthcare workers for Palestine and South Africa, basically to support our patients, to support the healthcare workers in Palestine and Gaza against Trump's genocide and against Netanyahu's genocide. Also, Trump has cut important US aid, which impacts many South Africans and many of our programs, many of our colleagues. And we're here in support of Ebrahim Rasool and saying, you know, he stood up against them. He's a persona non grata. I think it's very clear what Trump has. He's shown his cards. He's shown what he is, and he's shown his morality. And we're here for the people. We're here for the people of Gaza and Palestine, and we're here for our South African, local South African, everyone who's been impacted by US aid.
Former Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool also mentioned that we shouldn't close our doors with regards to our relationship with the US. And I'm sure it's very similar with your colleagues over in the US.
Yeah, so diplomacy is always important, diplomacy is always key, and there is a way to do diplomacy without, corrupting your morals and without standing up for what's right. We are always open to negotiations and to discussions. At the same time, one cannot stand up for genocide, one cannot stand up for fascism, and one cannot stand up to just suddenly cut aid to all our people without prep and without warning.
Doc, thanks so much for your support, and enjoy the rest of the Ramadan.
Thank you very much. You too. Salam.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to Cape Town International Airport. We're still chatting to a few more supporters right here. And good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Well, Leonard Ramatlagan is my name.
Leonard, thank you so much, sir, for chatting to us. What is your feeling about Brother Ebrahim Rasool arriving back in South Africa and the banning of his position as former ambassador?
Well, we're happy Ambassador Rasool has landed safely back home in Cape Town, to be specific. The feeling that we have is that he is back home as a leader of society. He is an internationalist. So we're happy that he's back here with his principle intact.
It's been a couple of emotional weeks as well, especially for the South African people. We don't know where we find ourselves with our relationship with the US. What is your opinion on that, sir?
Well, opinion is that, like Ebrahim Rasool said earlier on, that we need to continue to work on that relationship. It is an important relationship on the level of trade. So South Africa must continue to work with it on the basis of principle and mutual respect, that we are a country, we are a sovereign country, America is a sovereign country. At the level of engagement is equal, there's no junior, senior. So I think the president is working on that, it needs to be supported. Here the people are saying, welcome Ebrahim Rasool, you are one of us, you are one of us actually that has never betrayed any revolution.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming out for your support and always being there for our community.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to Cape Town International Airport, where we're still chatting to more supporters that have come out to show their support for former Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool. With me is Brother Vincent. Good morning, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. We just heard the former Ambassador giving us his version of events, of how it unfolded, but also the impact that it has on him and South Africa. What is your opinion, sir?
Yes, what is happening is that we, as this crowd that is here, the African National Congress, civil society, you can see there is a multiracial, interracial event here where all walks of life people is coming together and supporting our ambassador. You know, it was inevitable in terms of the character of Donald Trump. He's a character that is not South African, that is anti-South African, that is anti-democracy, that is anti-Palestine, and that is also anti-African people. So Comrade Rasool was very direct in terms of putting our aspirations as South Africa to the USA, is that we won't be bullied, we won't be marginalized, and we have our own independent South Africa. We can support whoever we would like to support, and we're definitely not going to support people that is fascist, people that is racist, and people that does not include inclusiveness in the world.
Thank you, Brother Vincent, for your opinion. Have a good afternoon. And that's how we end our broadcast here at Cape Town International Airport, where former Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool has addressed the crowd and has addressed his peers as well. And it's very clear that the US has only one agenda, and that is who's ever against them will be banished from the country. That's all that we have for you from Hilaal TV. I'm reporting from Cape Town International Airport. Lukman Shadrack for Hilaal TV.
Assalamu alaikum.